Comprehensive cybersecurity. Tips for protecting your data and devices. As technology evolves and becomes an even more integral part of our daily lives, cybersecurity has never been more important. Cybersecurity threats, such as hacking, phishing, ransomware, and identity theft, are increasingly sophisticated and widespread. However, by adopting a series of best practices, you can protect your personal, financial, and professional data from these ever-evolving threats. 1. Create strong and unique passwords. Avoid simple and common passwords. Simple passwords like password123 or QWERTY are easy targets for cybercriminals. Use complex passwords containing at least 12 characters, including a mix of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Unique passwords for every account. Never reuse passwords across multiple accounts. If one account is compromised, all other accounts using the same password will be vulnerable. Password management tools. Use a password manager, such as LastPass, Dashlane, or 1Password, to generate and securely store your complex passwords. These tools can also help you remember different passwords for each site. Password length matters. The longer the password, the harder it is to crack. Aim for 16 characters if possible. Longer passwords, especially those made up of random words, are much harder for attackers to guess using brute force. Change default passwords. Change the default passwords on all devices, especially routers, IoT devices, and cloud accounts. Many devices come with default login credentials that are publicly known and easily exploited. 2. Enable multi-factor authentication, MFA. Why MFA is critical? Multi-factor authentication adds an additional layer of security to your accounts. Even if your password is compromised, an attacker would still need access to a second factor, e.g., a text message, email, or authentication app to log in. Types of MFA. SMS-based MFA, a one-time code sent to your mobile phone. App-based MFA. Apps like Google Authenticator, Authy, or Microsoft Authenticator generate time-based codes on your phone. Biometric MFA. Fingerprint or facial recognition used to confirm your identity. Use MFA on critical accounts. Enable MFA for sensitive accounts, including email, banking, social media, and cloud storage services. It can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access. 3. Keep software, devices, and systems updated. Regular software updates. Cybercriminals often target vulnerabilities in outdated software. Always update your operating systems, web browsers, apps, and antivirus software. Enable automatic updates to ensure you're not missing critical security patches. Firmware updates for devices. Many Internet of Things, IoT devices, such as smart thermostats, cameras, and voice assistants, regularly receive firmware updates that address vulnerabilities. Keeping your devices updated ensures you have the latest security enhancements. Out-of-date devices. Be cautious of older devices that no longer receive updates, as they may become increasingly vulnerable over time. When possible, replace outdated hardware to ensure it's supported with security patches. 4. Be cautious of phishing and social engineering attacks. Recognize phishing emails. Phishing attacks often come in the form of fake emails from trusted institutions, banks, government agencies, or businesses. These emails may request personal information, account credentials, or prompt you to click on a malicious link. Verify suspicious emails. If you receive an unexpected email asking for sensitive information or urging immediate action, verify the authenticity by contacting the company or individual directly, preferably using contact details from their official website, not the email. Don't click on unsolicited links. Hover your mouse over links in emails or text messages to see where they lead before clicking. If the URL looks suspicious or doesn't match the sender's domain, avoid clicking. Be aware of social engineering. Attackers often impersonate someone you know or a trusted entity to manipulate you into giving up personal information or access to your accounts. Always double-check requests for sensitive data. 5. Secure your devices and network. Use antivirus and anti-malware software. Install and maintain reputable antivirus and anti-malware programs on your devices. These programs can help detect and block malicious software and prevent infections. Firewall protection. Ensure that your firewall is enabled on both your computer and router. Firewalls help monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic, blocking potentially harmful communications. Use encryption. Enable encryption on your devices, e.g. and full disk encryption, to protect your data in case your device is lost or stolen. For example, on Windows, you can use BitLocker, and on Mac OS, File Vault. Device locking. Always lock your devices with a password, PIN, or biometric, fingerprint face recognition. This will prevent unauthorized access in case of theft or accidental loss. Remote wipe. For mobile devices, enable remote wipe functionality so you can delete all data from the device if it's lost or stolen. Services like Apple's Find My iPhone or Google's Find My Device can remotely erase data to protect your privacy. 6. Be cautious on public Wi-Fi networks. Avoid sensitive transactions. Do not conduct sensitive activities, such as online banking or shopping, while connected to public Wi-Fi, as these networks are often unsecured. Use a virtual private network, VPN. A VPN encrypts your internet connection, making it harder for hackers to intercept your data, especially when you're on unsecured public Wi-Fi. Turn off file sharing. On public networks, turn off file sharing and disable Bluetooth to prevent your device from being vulnerable to unauthorized access. Use mobile data. If you need to perform critical tasks, consider using your phone's mobile data rather than a public Wi-Fi network. 7. Backup your data regularly. Backup solutions. Use both local and cloud-based backups to protect your data. Tools like Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox are good for cloud backups, while external hard drives, or NAS, network-attached storage, can serve as local backups. Schedule regular backups. Set up automatic backups on a daily or weekly basis to ensure you don't lose important files in case of hardware failure or cyber attacks, like ransomware. Test your backups. Regularly test your backups to ensure they are working correctly and that you can recover your files if needed. 8. Monitor your online accounts. Set up alerts. Many online services, such as banks and email providers, offer account activity alerts. Enable these notifications so you can be alerted to any suspicious login attempts or unusual transactions. Review statements and activity. Regularly check your bank, credit card, and social media accounts for unauthorized activity. If you notice anything out of the ordinary, take immediate action to secure your accounts. Consider identity theft protection. Services like LifeLock or Identity Force monitor your personal information and alert you to any signs of identity theft. 9. Secure your Internet of Things, IoT devices. Change default passwords. IoT devices such as smart speakers, thermostats, and cameras often come with default, easily guessable passwords. Change these passwords immediately after setting up the device. Update device firmware. Just like other devices, IoT devices also need regular updates to fix vulnerabilities. Make sure to apply firmware updates as soon as they are available. Separate networks for IoT devices. If your router allows it, set up a separate network for your IoT devices. This limits their access to your main network and makes it harder for attackers to reach your more sensitive devices. Disable unnecessary features. If your IoT device has features you don't use, like remote access or camera streaming, disable them to minimize potential attack vectors. 10. Be aware of data privacy and share carefully. Control what you share. Online, limit the amount of personal information shared on social media. Attackers often use information from social media profiles to launch social engineering attacks, e.g., phishing. Use privacy settings. Regularly check and adjust the privacy settings on your social media accounts to restrict who can see your posts and personal information. Review app permissions. Before installing apps, review what permissions they request. Some apps may ask for access to unnecessary information, such as your contacts, location, or camera. Deny permissions that aren't needed for the app's function. Use encrypted communication. Use encrypted messaging apps like Signal or WhatsApp for secure communication. Encryption ensures that only the sender and recipient can read your messages. 11. Secure your home network. Change default router settings. Many routers come with default usernames and passwords that are easy for attackers to guess. Change them immediately to something unique. Enable WPA3 encryption. If your router supports it, use WPA3 encryption for your Wi-Fi network to ensure a higher level of security. Avoid using older encryption methods like WEP or WPA2. Hide your network, SSID. You can make your Wi-Fi network less visible to outsiders by disabling the SSID broadcast. This means that only people who know the network name can connect. Use a guest network. For visitors, set up a guest network with restricted access to your main network. This limits their access to your personal PLS. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more informative videos like this. Also comment another video you will like to see here at Comparison 11.